Well, you know, the cast of The Barber of Seville has come to Philadelphia literally from around the country. So we were wondering about their operatic journey, how it's brought them here, what they think about our fair city, its food, and even what's on their iPods.
I absolutely love Philadelphia.
I love the history of the city. I have a lot of good friends here.
I had my daughter here at the University of Pennsylvania.
You know, I have to say, I've really kind of fallen for the city of brotherly love.
To be back in Philadelphia is really exciting for me. I love the restaurants here.
I've lived in New York for the past decade and a half, so it's, hop, skip, and a jump from there. It's easier to get here than it is to, parts of Brooklyn. But seriously, who wants to go to Brooklyn?
I grew up just outside of Chicago, Illinois.
I was born in Cleveland. I lived in Allentown for a long time. I lived in Hackettstown, New Jersey. We moved down to Georgia. I lived in New York. I've lived in Pittsburgh. I've lived in a lot of different places.
I grew up in Sydney, Ohio.
I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I was the youngest of 5 kids.
I grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. I'm the youngest of 10 kids.
I got into opera because I did my first opera, and I thought, well, gosh, this is super fun. And somebody said, you could do this. And I said, people do this as a career.
So I didn't actually come to singing until my junior year of college. Finished my undergrad in singing and then went to get a master's degree at Curtis in Philadelphia.
I got into opera kind of a long way around. I started out singing country music, and I wanted to be a country singer.
I was in a heavy metal rock band in high school called Aftershock. We played old covers of Megadeth and Metallica when Metallica was good.
I have a very eclectic taste in music. I sang in some rock bands in high school, and I take such pride. I have a huge LP collection.
I don't have an iPod. I have an MP3 player, an old MP3 player. I am like Dr. Bartolo. These new technologies, they're crap.
I should just name bands. I mean, I'm listening to
Aerosmith, the Beatles,
Tom Jones to get me revved up sometimes before a performance.
Churches.
I like steel wound guitars, like the Tommy Emmanuel's, the Don Rosses, the Andy McKees.
I like a lot of Afro-Cuban music and Tito Puente.
Leon Russell, Joe Walsh.
Bombay Bicycle Club.
I tend to listen to a lot of fluffy pop, like top 40 stuff, which I'm not necessarily proud of, but it's fun.
Did you know Garth Brooks is having a comeback? It's unreal. I like country music.
Honestly, sadly, the sound of silence is really lovely.
Now, I know there's tons of restaurants that are really great here. I'm sure there are. I haven't had time to go out to eat.
I love my cheesesteaks. I went to Jim's yesterday. Wonderful.
I think cheesesteaks are gross, but I like Philly anyway.
Honestly, the best meal I've ever had was in a place called Veg. It's a vegan restaurant, and I like meat. I'm sorry, animals, but that's the best, most beautiful food I've ever had, and now I'm never going to get in again because they already have a lot of reservations, so oh well.
I had some really good mussels last night.
My favorite thing to eat in Philadelphia, and this is not a paid endorsement, but are the sea bass tacos from Elvez. It's the first meal I will always eat when I get into Philadelphia because it's my favorite.
Somehow I have found time to go to Insomnia Cookies, and I think if I lived here, that would probably be the bane of my existence because I probably weigh 500 pounds more than I do right now. Because, I mean, they deliver till 3 a.m. This is crazy.